Right now it's 6. A second suspect in a Toma attempted homicide grabbed, where police say he was hiding.
And rural EMS services across Minnesota are receiving aid. How Houston County cities are planning to use the money.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening, I'm Emily Brown.
And I'm Ken Kozarowski.
A second suspect in a Toma Thanksgiving Day attempted homicide is now in custody.
Police were tipped off that 30-year-old David Hintz was in a Toma home by Gillette Park and East Council Street. A tactical unit found Hintz hiding in a crawl space. He's accused, along with 33-year-old Justin Novak, in an attempted homicide on Kilbourne last November. Novak being held on a $50,000 cash bond.
Accused child killer Josie Dykeman's request for a venue change is denied. She was in court today. Dykeman also asked to dismiss a charge of chronic neglect of a child. That decision will be made in March. Dykeman is accused in the death of 6-year-old AJ Pedron. Among the charges she's facing is first-degree intentional homicide.
A Toma man is pleading not guilty to the 1985 murder of a UWL student. 61-year-old Michael Pop faces first-degree murder in Terry Dalloway's death. DNA evidence cracked the cold case in 2023. The then 24-year-old Dalloway vanished from her La Crosse County trailer home in February of '85. Her body was found in Vernon County 4 days later.
Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of Milwaukee says investigators uncovered roughly $1.7 million in fraud. Unsealed search warrants say the charity's finance director was stealing money by fabricating vendors and paying them with official checks. The thefts date back to 2016, involving 7 people in total. All employees involved in the theft have been fired by the nonprofit. The Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office said the investigation has been turned over to federal prosecutors. No one named in the search warrants have been charged.
2024 marked La Crosse's second warmest year on record. News 8 Now's Allison Ferget joins us live in the newsroom to explain the impacts. Allison.
Ken and Emily, warmer weather has become a trend in the Coulee region in the last decade, and local businesses that depend on the cold are bearing the brunt of these warm-ups.
We started off very warm.
Jeff Boyne, a meteorologist with the National Weather Service, has been tracking La Crosse temperatures for years. He says an El Nino weather pattern led to above-average warmth in January and February last year.
Another time period that we actually saw fairly warm temperatures was this past fall. We were in the top 10 as far as warmest falls on record.
Boyne says those two things combined made 2024 tie for the second warmest year on record. That warm weather was catastrophic for businesses that rely on Wisconsin's usually frigid winters.
Last year was definitely the hardest season I've seen. We only had safe ice for maybe about a 2-week window.
Adam Christensen says his ice fishing business only made about a 15th of what it should have during that time period.
I wasn't sure I was going to be able to continue, to be honest with you.
Alex Welter had to delay the launch of his fishing guide business because of the lack of ice to start 2024. The ice fishing season has been off to a strong start this year, but he says another season like 2024's would be devastating.
It would be a shame because, you know, so many people rely on that to get through the winter. From a mental health standpoint, from a recreation standpoint, there isn't many things to do. Ice fishing is one of those things that gets you outside.
And while the start of 2024 was unusually warm, meteorologists say warmer years and warmer winters are becoming a pattern in the Coulee region.
We're seeing more and more warm temperatures, record warmth, and less record cold taking place.
There are cold temps right now, but Boyne predicts 2025 will be another above average year.
Trends would basically say we're probably going to see another warm year taking place.
Boyne also says 2024 was a top 10 year for severe weather warnings. Ken and Emily?
All right, thank you, Allison. Well, nothing unusual quite yet to the start of 2025 weather-wise. According to Greg, we're right on track for January.
Yeah, we're kind of, as we mentioned, El Nino. We're kind of in a La Nina pattern. It's becoming quite evident here that everything is lining up, that January is kind of La Nina, which simply means colder than average, but drier than average, and we've kind of seen that overall too, and it looks to continue, although we do have some snow chances in the way. But for right now, you look at the current temperatures out there, we've been currently in the teens to about 20. You kind of zoom out, even up to the north, there's not quite a amount of cold air. It's kind of shifted more north and northeast. We're going to start getting flow from the west, which is more milder conditions over here as we get towards Thursday. So overall, not that terrible to the west or north right now. For this evening, fairly quiet temperatures, just getting back down to about 13 with a little bit of a wind chill, but otherwise pretty minor with the winds. Eau Claire similar, a few high clouds early, but generally clear skies, getting back down to about 9 degrees overall by 11 p.m. The lows this morning, not too bad overall. A few areas, the coldest spots typically were below 0, but overall most areas were in the single digits. For lows for tonight, pretty similar, maybe a degree or colder in some of the other areas, but overall we should stay generally in the single digits. And later on, we do have a little bit of snow. We got some opportunities. Unfortunately, with this pattern, these opportunities aren't that many, and then when we do get some, we don't get generally a lot of snow, but we'll break that down a bit later.
All right, thank you, Greg. Well, a case of mumps has been confirmed in Clark County. Mumps can easily spread from person to person through talking, coughing, and sneezing. The disease can spread 2 days before symptoms start and up to 5 days after. Symptoms start with fever, headaches, muscle aches, and tiredness.
Rural ambulance services in southeastern Minnesota just got some serious help. Nearly $1 million to help cover costs. News 8 Now's Grace Monk has a closer look.
Minnesota recently awarded $24 million in aid to rural EMS services across the state. Today, I talked to some of those services from Houston County about how they plan to use the money. Over $900,000 in aid was awarded to rural ambulance services from southeast Minnesota. The city of Houston will use the money to purchase 2 cardiac monitors. Caledonia plans to purchase a new ambulance and hold EMT trainings. Houston and Caledonia's directors say the money will improve operations.
We can do a lot with what we have, but that gives an extra insight and gives an advantage that hopefully they can get to the care that they need at the hospital quicker.
The sustainability of keeping personnel here, it helps keep our equipment up to date and keep the service running without putting too much of a burden on the taxpayer.
Both ambulance services hope the state offers more aid in the future. Both Caledonia and Houston are looking for more people to join their EMS teams. We'll have more information on our website about how you can do that. In Minnesota, Grace Monk, News 8 Now.
All right, thank you, Grace.
The La Crosse Community Foundation welcomed its new leader this morning. Chad Dull takes over as CEO today. The Cashton native built his career at Western Tech and La Crosse schools. He's also the CEO and founder of Poverty Informed Practice. It's a national poverty education program.
I think the foundation is a catalyst. We're really an organization that connects people who love lacrosse with opportunities to make lacrosse an even better place. And our role is to put those things together, provide support, and create a thriving community for all.
Dull says his goal as CEO is to focus on an inclusive, thriving, and engaged community.
The future site of the new Holman YMCA facility just got bigger. Thor Development LLC is donating 3.5 acres to their existing site in the McGillivray Park subdivision. This is in addition to 6 acres of land donated in October 2022. La Crosse Area YMCA's CEO says the donation makes the site ideal for the new YMCA.
Hauser Y sits on about 9.5 acres, and here we have room for parking. We got a big facility, we've got green space, we've got a Miracle baseball field, and having 9 acres in Holman gives us a lot of options in the future for what we want to develop at that location.
Now, there is no timetable for the completion of the new facility yet.
The Capitol honors the life of former President Jimmy Carter.
A look at the nation's tribute to the 39th president up next.
We've done many, many renovations. We bought an old house and have made it into an up-to-date house. Whenever anything involves plumbing, the first call I make is to Maxwell White. Their technicians put together a great final product.
You come alive in the dead of winter and start work early on snow days, because snowed in is not an option. The Kubota Snow lineup of compact tractors, RTVs, and versatile attachments are built to move, plow, blow, and thrive in the winter. So when the snow falls, you could rise to meet it.
Right now, receive 0% APR for 60 months and up to $2,300 off BX Series tractor packages. Visit any of your local Johnson Tractor dealerships in Menominee, Baldwin, Osseo, and Arcadia.
To everyone who's hungry for something special,
Culver's is the place for us. Hi, what can I make fresh for you today? It's nice being greeted by people who are glad to see you. And I appreciate that they use real ingredients, like fresh beef and Wisconsin cheese. The frozen custard is so fresh and creamy, it tastes like it was made just for us. It's our pleasure. Just spending time with family, that's what mealtime at Culver's is all about.
from Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious!
At Ultra, we believe in financial health and that good habits start early. Learning how to save and spend responsibly can make a big difference in a child's life and yours. Give your child the independence they want with Ultra's Live Your Life Spend account. It's a free account designed for money-savvy teens and young adults with all the extra features you'll love. No minimum balance and no monthly fees. Free online and mobile banking, plus cashback debit card rewards. Ultra Federal Credit Union, helping you live your best life.
Here at Maxwell White, we know how valuable your time is. From issues with your hot water to slower clogged drains, our team is always on time with friendly service and solutions you can trust. Don't wait. Contact Maxwell White. Plumbing done right.
The state funeral for President Jimmy Carter shifts to our nation's capital today.
The 39th president will lie in state for 2 days before a national funeral service on Thursday. Reporter Michael Yoshida is in Washington, D.C. with the latest.
President Jimmy Carter lying in state at the U.S. Capitol. Family, friends, and lawmakers saying their final goodbyes.
It's amazing on these last few days to sort of, for my family to see how much we share him with the world.
Carter's return to D.C. follows several days of celebrations of his life and remembrances in his home state of Georgia.
Today we gather to celebrate the life of a man whose works will echo for generations to come.
A peanut farmer and Navy veteran who would go on to be governor of Georgia before eventually serving as president of the United States from 1977 to 1981. After leaving the White House, Carter's life as a humanitarian cemented his legacy. Countless hours spent working with Habitat for Humanity.
He focused on making the lives of his fellow men better.
Along with efforts of the Carter Center, fighting for human rights and healthcare access for families across the world. Carter, a one-term president turned Nobel Peace Prize winner, remembered for the life he lived in service of others.
Without question, he was a great public servant because of his beliefs, because of his faith, because of the principles that he stood for. I think that'll always be important in remembering Jimmy Carter.
In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
Facebook and Instagram are getting rid of its fact checkers.
Why Mark Zuckerberg is making changes to the Meta platforms right after the break.
We've had a stretch of maybe below average temperatures, but the good news is we got a stretch coming up that we're going to be near or even above average. Along with that, a couple opportunities for some light snow. We'll break down what the temperatures look like and on the snow that we might get coming up on your First Warn Weather update after the break.
Stay warm and cozy this winter with La Crosse Fireplace Company and receive a 30% federal tax credit. Wood stoves with a modern style like Quadra-Fire or the classic look from Vermont Castings, La Crosse Fireplace Company has the stove to fit your style and need. Purchase and receive a 30% federal tax credit on the entire package and installation. La Crosse Fireplace Company, because your place is by the fire.
We see you out there, giving your whole heart to what you do. That doesn't mean you have to give your whole wallet, too. It's why we make sure that as you find your way, you can find value along the way. Like $3 off select Blaine's brand cat food. Get a free $15 gift card with $75 spent on Purina Pro Plan. Plus, rewards members get free same-day delivery on pet orders of $49 or more.
That's what I'm talking about.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Hey, babe, what's a 5-letter word that starts with PH and ends with NE? Clue is get 4 of these for free with 4 lines for $90 a month at US Cellular.
James, have you tried the 4 free phone flakes? I love these free phone flakes.
Hey, Dad, 4 free phones.
Each serving has 4 free phones.
4 free phones?
Thanks.
Oh.
They're right behind me, aren't they? Choose 4 free phones and 4 lines for $90 a month. No trade-in needed. US Cellular.
It's so cold.
I guess I should have called G&T Heating before the furnace went bad.
quite silly, really, with all the things that can go bad with a furnace. Plug vent, rust buildup, dirty flame sensor, the filter. Should have called G&T sooner.
My fingers are freezing. They're numb.
Oh, take my extra pair of gloves.
Extra gloves?
We're starting the new year with our biggest sale of the year at Interior Designs Holman. All our carpets are on sale, so you'll save money and get more for free. Free measuring and estimating at your home. Free furniture moving, even that heavy couch and king-size bed. Free removal of your old carpet and padding, and we'll recycle it. Free life of carpet labor warranty for as long as you own the carpet. All at the lowest prices of the year and 12 months no interest financing. Save money and get more for free during the biggest carpet sale of the year going on now at Interior Designs Holman.
The news continues on News 8 Now. Expect more.
Meta founder Mark Zuckerberg has announced sweeping changes to how his company moderates content on its social media platforms, Facebook and Instagram.
Zuckerberg says Meta will eliminate independent fact-checkers in the U.S. and replace them with a user-based community note system, similar to X. He says Facebook and Instagram are at a point where there are too many mistakes and too much censorship from biased fact-checkers.
Zuckerberg also says the changes are coming in part because of political events, including Donald Trump's presidential election victory.
Well, let's go ahead and get a fact check on our weather from Greg.
Yeah, well, we can fact check it that we have had a stretch of mainly below average temperatures for the most part. But for the next couple days after Wednesday and even go through the weekend, we're going to be near, maybe even slightly above average too. But that does come with a little bit of snow opportunity. But for the most part, it's still quiet conditions through at least Thursday. Thursday night is when the snow could come. Colder tomorrow, as I mentioned, just a couple degrees colder than we've had here for today. And then we're going to warm it back up a little bit on Thursday back to where we should be for seasonal. And that light snow opportunity, and I really mean light snow, comes through Thursday night. And right now amounts would be very light if you get any at all. It's not a significant event, but it's something we haven't seen too much here in the last week and a half or 2 weeks. But overall, the pattern really is that big system has pushed well off to the coast that impacted a good portion of the mid-Atlantic and then the D.C. area too. Overall to the west, not too much going on. We still got a few little waves coming down that are providing cloud cover for today. There's one for tomorrow coming up to the north, more cloud cover off and on, but not producing any type of really precipitation. Maybe a few flurries tomorrow at the most. Tomorrow's highs, a degree or two colder for most areas, upper teens to the north, about the mid-20s south, so not too bad for this time of year for January. And then as we look at Thursday, with that system approaching, we're going to get a little bit warmer, looking at upper 20s, potentially 30. It does help that we don't have any snow on the ground, allows our temperature to get closer to freezing than otherwise would if we did have a snowpack right now. The snow opportunity comes there, and then Friday we'll have cloud cover, so not much cooler behind this system. We'll still be in the upper 20s for most area, mid-20s up to the north, so plenty of clouds, maybe a few flurries. Now, speaking of that opportunity coming Thursday evening to Thursday overnight, it's this line that it really kind of falls apart as it approaches, but it is this line that will come through at some point, maybe for the evening commute, maybe just afterwards, a very narrow line of some light snow. Not expecting a lot of accumulation with that coming through, but that is an opportunity to come. It may linger overnight. We may see additional flurry activity going into Friday, but overall, this won't amount to too much in the way of snowfall, but we'll get a little bit, at least maybe to cover the ground. You can see a dusting, maybe up to a ½ inch. Maybe someone could get an outside inch, but I think everyone will probably stay under a ½ inch for this amount. Now, the next opportunity is a one that does have a little bit more punch to it coming through, so we could get a little bit more. It's that low that kind of digs southeast. Once again, coming from the northwest, it'll come through potentially Saturday night through Sunday and then work its way through the area. Potentially by Monday morning, it'll be east of the area. So this gives a little bit more opportunity to see a little bit of light snow. But generally with these systems coming that way, you're looking at maybe a 1 to 2, maybe a 1 to 3. So we'll keep an eye on that. But for right now, it's not a significant event, but it could cover the ground once again. The bigger story behind that is the colder temperatures than next week. And especially if we have snow on the ground, we could see temperatures overnight go well below zero. But for right now, we're in the single digits and we'll kind of cool off, but it doesn't last too long with Wednesday coming back to 20. So all in all, a couple of snow opportunities here, but not much. This La Nina pattern typically doesn't lend itself to a lot of snowfall overall, but colder than average temperatures, but not too bad really to speak of for the next 7 to 8 days.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Coming up next in sports, Sam's the man. Kevin O'Connell reiterates the confidence Minnesota has in their QB moving forward. Plus, one of the top players in the best team in the country revealing why this is one of the best teams she's ever taken to the ice with. Jacob is next.
Is it time for new windows or doors? Contact the company who has done the research for you. The best windows and doors installed by the best people. Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions.
Your home, a place of comfort and safety, could be trying to tell you something. Interior cracks, sloping floors, hard to open doors and windows are all signals of foundation failure that you can't ignore. Choose American Waterworks.
T-Mobile is very reliable.
It's always nice to know that T-Mobile has us covered.
I love the fact that my family and I, we can stay connected just about anywhere we want to go.
My network is my lifeline.
T-Mobile keeps you connected on America's largest and fastest 5G network. Right now, switch and keep your phone. We'll pay it off up to $800. See how you can save on every plan versus Verizon and AT&T at T-Mobile.com/keep-and-switch.
I have type 2 diabetes, but I manage it well. It's a little pill with a big story to tell. I take once daily Jardians at each day start. As time went on, it was easy to see I'm lowering my A1C.
And for adults with type 2 diabetes and known heart disease, Jardians can lower the risk of cardiovascular death too.
Serious side effects include increased ketones in blood or urine, which can be fatal. Stop Jardians and call your doctor right away if you have nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, trouble breathing, or increased ketones. Jardians may cause dehydration that can suddenly worsen kidney function and make you feel dizzy, lightheaded, or weak upon standing. Genital yeast infections in men and women, urinary tract infections, low blood sugar, or a rare life-threatening bacterial infection between and around the anus and genitals can occur. Call your doctor right away if you have fever or feel weak or tired and pain, tenderness, swelling, or redness in the genital area. Don't use if allergic to Jardians. Stop use if you have a serious allergic reaction. Call your doctor if you have rash, swelling, difficulty breathing, or swallowing. You may have increased risk for lower limb loss. Call your doctor right away if you have new pain or tenderness, sores, ulcers, or infection in your legs or feet.
Jardians is really swell, the little pill with a big story to tell.
Covering all the exciting action from your community. Here's News 8 Now Sports with Jacob Lenzendorf.
Well, after a string of 3 losses in early December, the trajectory of the men's basketball program for Wisconsin could have went 2 ways. 4 games later, things seem to be looking up for Greg Gard's bunch. Last night, Wisconsin picked up their first road conference win by 12 over Rutgers. The defense against a couple of the star players in the conference was strong, and offensively, UW found ways to score when a three-pointer wasn't falling.
We know we're always in for a battle when we come here. Life on the road in the Big Ten is very difficult. So when you can get road wins and lead wire to wire like we did, I felt it was a really good team win, and obviously a lot of contributions from across the board.
And Coach Gard said after the game, no serious concern for Max Klesmit, who left with an ankle injury, or for Nolan Winter, who exited with a cut to his hand. Meanwhile, after a weekend split between the number 1 ranked Wisconsin women's hockey team and number 2 ranked Ohio State, the Badgers are still at that top spot in the top 25 poll that dropped today. The Badgers are 21-1 so far this season, dominating most opponents that stand in their way. Leading goal scorer for UW, Layla Edwards, has been a part of some fantastic teams so far, but she says the depth of this squad really stands out.
Every year that I've been a Badger, we've been an incredible team. I mean, the first year we won it, obviously. The second year we went to the finals. But something about this team this year, it's probably the deepest team I've ever played on. I mean, we can play all 4 lines all game, and we'll be fine. We can do it against anyone. We don't have to worry about matching lines. And I think we're just solid from top to bottom, and we're very consistent.
Wisconsin will return home to Laban Arena this weekend for a Saturday and Sunday doubleheader against Minnesota State. And after a disappointing performance back on Sunday night with hopes of locking up a top seed in the NFC, the Vikings looked out of sorts, beginning with their quarterback Sam Darnold, who had his worst game with Minnesota. But his coach says there is still a ton of confidence with number 14 in purple and gold.
The kind of year he's had and the way he's responded from any moments of adversity, I'm really excited to get to work with him this week. My confidence level that we can get him right back on track is as high as it could be. And I know our coaches feel the same way, and I know most importantly his teammates feel the same way.
Yeah, so I feel the Vikings fans are content with Darnold under center, but if he has a poor game, you never know when that script could flip a little bit there. So we will see how that goes with Darnold and the Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you only have Daniel Jones to go to if you just lost all faith in Darnold, and I'm pretty sure Kevin O'Connell's not going to go that route. Not in the playoffs.
No, I don't think so. Looking forward to seeing that game. Looking forward to see all the games, and we got college football coming up too. It's a great sports weekend.
It's a wonderful time.
Sure.
Thank you, Jacob.
All right, Greg has another look at your forecast right after this.
See the stories you missed or watch them again on our YouTube page. Or find us at news8000.com.
Dreaming of a new ride? Apply today at driveultra.org and make your dream a reality. Hey, dogs can dream too. Ultra Federal Credit Union.
Dreaming of a career but worried about time and cost? At CVTC, we make it easy. With low tuition costs and a wide variety of programs to choose from, we'll get you job ready in just 1 to 2 years. You'll graduate with minimal debt and find a career you love with competitive starting salaries. Dive into your future today with affordable, fast, and rewarding programs at CVTC. Visit cvtc.edu to learn more.
Attention business owners, start 2025 confidently with Your Choice Roofing, your trusted partner for commercial roofing solutions. Our expert craftsmanship and premium materials ensure a roof that stands the test of time. Don't wait, our schedule is filling up fast. Get ahead of the rush and secure your spot now to protect your building and your bottom line. Visit yourchoiceroofing.com today to get started.
Looking for a new ride? At Ultra, we know some family members are pickier than others. Apply today at driveultra.org and find a ride that makes everyone happy. No payments for 90 days. Driver tested, puppy approved. Ultra Federal Credit Union.
All right, tomorrow as you wake up, pretty much typical, really, January temperatures, single digits, a little bit of a wind chill, maybe below zero, but all in all, not too bad. A few clouds out there, minus that. A little colder Wednesday. The snow chance Thursday into Friday is a minor one, maybe a ½ inch for Thursday night. That Saturday night and Sunday one, maybe a couple inches potentially. So Sunday we could see a little bit of accumulation on the ground there. Otherwise, temperatures do warm up this. We're getting back to average with another drop in the temperatures come early next week.
So much time left to discuss. Let's go back to the Vikings real quick.
No, good ice skating weather it looks like though.
Very good. If you want to do anything else.
I don't know.
Are you a skater?
I'm not. I don't think I'm very fleet
Not
to my
snowball
foot.
fight weather quite yet.
No, we're going to have to
Maybe
go
this
a few
weekend.
states down
Some dirt fights.
for a snowball fight.
Thank you for joining us at 6.
We'll see you tonight at 10.